From tradwives to labubus, trends this year have been characterized by extremes, from an overload of personalization to widespread conformity and conservative attitudes. Some of this polarization will continue in the fall-winter season, but some key changes this season will focus on overarching attitudes rather than hyper-specific elements in particular. For example, the switch from microtrends to vibe and from living online to focusing on the real world. More specifically, we will see a rise in frumpy, fashionable style, as well as mixed patterns, greens and browns among others. In this video, I'll give an overview of the social trends this season and how they translate into specific fashion trends and items. Microtrends have dominated the online and offline fashion space in the past years, from cottagecore to mobwife to brat summer. But this year, we finally saw them slow down and merge into aesthetics that are more vague or not even defined at all. And that is where the vibe comes in. While microtrends were specific and easily achievable, vibe is much more ambiguous and harder to achieve because there is no makeup tutorial you can follow or a specific item you can buy. They can be both hyper-specific but also vague at the same time. And a great example was a trend started by Hailey Bieber eating sushi while wearing a face mask on TikTok last month. The way this translates into fashion is by focusing on the unexpected. We see this in advertising, for example with the use of food, which has risen in the past year, especially when it comes to high-end fashion and beauty brands, for example Saint Laurent or Rode. The reason this works so well is because it conveys exactly the essence of what vibe means: to create something luxurious and unexpected, but relatable at the same time, in a way that matches the context of the world with increased economic difficulties and disparity between social classes. So what does this mean exactly for fall-winter trends? It translates into a focus on curation. You're not only putting together an outfit, but curating an entire persona. We saw a glimpse of this through people's obsession with Jane Birkin or Caroline Bassett Kennedy because of their mix of style, unexpectedness, and apparent nonchalance. It is exactly that nonchalant attitude that will reflect the most in trends this season, with the rise of the fashionably frumpy aesthetic. Think Bridget Jones meets Carrie Bradshaw. This was particularly evident at Prada's Fall 2025 show, which explored notions of femininity, especially through this contrast between stylish and practical, put together but slightly frumpy. While frumpy usually refers to something old-fashioned and unattractive, I use it in a way reminiscent of 2000s rom-coms, where the main character was portrayed as unattractive, but actually had a very unique and eclectic style. On this note, at Prada, we see a lot of mid-length skirts with big pockets and thick materials paired with dainty items like kitten heels or soft top. The silhouettes are not attractive in the conventional way, but this is exactly what Miuccia Prada and Ralph Simmons set out to express. We asked ourselves, what is feminine beauty, and what is femininity today? Overall, this trend will be different than other expressions of nonchalant style that I mentioned before, because outfits are not meant to look effortless and perfect, but alive, worn in, and realistic. Probably one of the biggest shifts this season is the move towards midi skirts, especially with flowy or straight silhouettes. A few years ago, it was the maxi skirt. Last year, micro and mini skirts. And now we've moved towards a more classic and serious expression of this item. Beyond the all money and conservative trends, one big aesthetic this year has been the move to less form-fitting clothing and expressing style and femininity through more unexpected ways. For example, the trend of dressing for the female gaze is still going strong, often involving less conventionally flattering silhouettes, especially not accentuating the body in a traditional way. At the same time, this desire to move away from online-centric fashion and more into the real world has also called for more practical clothing. And in the fall-winter 2025 season, we saw midi skirts at Prada, Tory Burch, Dries Van Noten, and Fendi. While it might seem a bit boring or old-fashioned, there are definitely ways to adapt it to a more fun approach, especially through unexpected combinations, which brings me to the next trend. The ugly cute aesthetic offers a response to a more serious approach to fashion this season by embracing and promoting the unexpected and illustrating the need for diversity and expression. A natural evolution of the cute-centric trend we saw last year that featured elements like bows, lace, back charms, and trinkets, the ugly cute focuses more on the weird and unexpected. Obviously, one key item for this trend is the labubu or similar trinkets, but it also just focuses on the rise of contrasting combinations, exaggerated proportions, or quirky patterns. If one end of the spectrum for fall trends is quiet, serious, and subdued, the other one is focused on loud, maximalist personalization, which is why belt and metal details are some of the most popular elements this season. We see maxi belt at Schiaparelli, Hodakova, and Balmain. At Isabelle Marant's Fall 2025 collection, we see another expression of this trend, which is an updated version of 2010's grunge with a lot of plaid on skirts, dresses, and bags, mixed with silver details and lacy sheer elements. Moving away from these two aesthetics, one of the most popular and versatile items this season is fur, for which Tago reported a 996% increase in its presence among collections compared to previous seasons. Well, it's not exactly a new trend because maxi fur coats were popular in the past year, especially with the mob wife aesthetic. Now it's back in both a classical and experimental side. The Fendi Fall-Winter 2025 show celebrated the brand's heritage, while at the same time positioning them in the future, with modernized techniques. For example, the first look, which consisted of a shearling coat that has been modified to resemble mink fur. Vaquera featured oversized fur scarves and hats, Ganni turned it into a statement collar, and Diesel used it as an outer layer for its otherwise plain puffer jacket. At Chloe, flowy sheer dresses were paired with fur collars with long fur tassels, while Daniel Roseberry's Schiaparelli created a suit with matching pants and coats. Prints and patterns are definitely having a big moment this year. I mentioned in my last trend prediction video at the beginning of the year how geometric and retro-inspired prints will be popular. And we've seen that a lot, with TikTok even bringing back this iconic Pucci dress at the beginning of summer. Moving into fall-winter, the trend is shifting to more unexpected nostalgic inspirations in the form of floral prints. Louis Vuitton took the lead with this floral takeover, where we've seen light flowy dresses, flowery bucket hats, and even rose-printed skinny trousers and matching headbands. The few pops of color at Prada for the season were also in the form of floral dresses, reminding of an eclectic grandma style. Brown for fall is definitely not surprising, but its popularity keeps growing season after season, with Tago reporting a huge increase in Fall-Winter 2025 collections compared to previous seasons. It makes sense in the context of a more practical and subdued approach to clothing, and trend forecasting platform Heuritech says that mixing multiple shades of brown within one outfit is going to be the main trend this season. But on a more unexpected note, another color which is predicted to be popular this fall is chartreuse, a yellow-green shade, which has also grown in popularity compared to previous seasons. Finally, this season shows a clear move away from hyper-specific aesthetic and towards a sense of more mood and identity. Fall 2025 is also about contrast, frumpy yet stylish silhouettes, nostalgic prints alongside futuristic details, and serious tones of brown mixed with unexpected greens. Overall, it embraces both restraint and playfulness, which feels like a natural but also unsurprising progression for fashion this year.